All right, so let's get back to Netflix. I posted that video on Netflix, shoot, roughly, let's say a few days ago, a few weeks ago. So April 7th is when I first posted this, and today being April 20th. Wow. So 13 days for this to happen is an unbelievable move in Netflix right now. 224 from like 380 that we were at. So let's go look at the charts. All right, so the first caption that I posted was on the break and retest, right? So the break and retest I had posted was roughly in the area of the ascending zone trend line here and the breakout and the breakdown, right? Okay, so that's what I was pretty much looking at. I placed the fibs on the charts. Let's erase that. That has nothing to do with the moment right now. So pretty much in this area here is kind of where I initially, around the 7th, start posting. So we're right in this area here. So let's go down in the charts and let's take a look more in detail about what we were looking at, what I was looking at that time. So again, let's make sure we're in the same time frame. So again, around here, this ascending trend line, you can see the test here. You can see the breakdown, the retest, then the rejection. And as you can tell here, those were the two trades that I had posted here and then here, capturing those movements after rejection. Let's even go further now in time since we have the future. So as you can tell, the retest happened here on the lower support trend line that I charted. Then we broke down. I drew this box down here once the support was created here, just to kind of give an idea. Once your EMAs broke down, that's where I placed this area of, I think I was talking about a 1 to 11 at that time, 1 to 12. So again, we came down, we tested a support, and then we immediately broke down. We came back up to retest resistance, which I, in my mind, thought, okay, this is a little wonky. We actually are, taking this resistance. We broke through once here, and we came back to realize that retest. So that to me, again, told me that this 1 to 12 was actually going to work out pretty well. And so you see we did here. We came all the way down to test this out like previous prediction on the 8th after I posted that second video. Talked about that 1 to 12 being tested, and it did. So we came back, came up to test that resistance again to see if we can break to make up new highs. EMAs were looking good. We're down to 30 minutes, so I'm only really concentrating on that 8-day, and that 8-day looked really well for us breaking up. But we couldn't make newer highs here, so that higher low set the tone for earnings. And as you can tell, the surprise miss and the user subscriptions are down dramatically, even though earnings were up. 21% revenues down, but the subscriber drop was for the reason that they actually pulled the trigger, and the investors shorted the shit out of this trade. We're all the way down to 223, which I have an alert placed on this at 204, 205 being tested. Once we break down from that, let's take a look at what we're expecting from this play. Let's go out to the weekly, because again, we'd have to go back in time, 2017, 2018, to get to these levels. So ultimately, if we can't hold that 205 level, we're going to retest several areas, but that 133, first off, that 147, then the 167, before testing out that 182. So 182, 147, 167, then ultimately getting down to that 133 mark if we can't hold above this 205. And that will be unbelievable. Please, thank you. So as you can tell, that channel pattern just recently got broken. And more than likely, if we were to extend this out a little bit, trying to keep the same parameters, what normally happens here once we get this breakdown, it'll come back up to the retest at 357 mark. So could it be a good entry? You know what I'm learning is that confirmation is the best tool. So if you were to watch this thing, watch it on a 4 hour or a daily and watch the actions from here. Watch how it's set up. Make sure, because more than likely it's going to consolidate all the way here before it comes back up. Then it's going to briefly try to topple out and go above 245. So if you were to place an alert at 245 just to see if it start touching, watch this whole area. See if the higher highs will be formed to get to that point. And if so, watch what it does before the break. And if the break comes back to retest, that's a good indication. Depends on the price action. If we get an engulfing candle, boom, buy that all the way up to the retest and then watch again. After selling, watch again what happens at that point. But anyway, it's unbelievable watching this settle out since April 7th, since I first posted that first video about it, and to see the demise now, wow, unbelievable.